Peace, BAIO family. I'm your host, Shabari Lamb, and this is another edition of the BAIO News. And in this video, we'll be talking about the Barbados-Liberia connection. And it's going to be in relevance to an All Africa article that I found, but you can also find it on Front Page Africa. And it's called the Barbados-Liberia connection. And it's going to be dealing with a man who is tracing his roots, who was a Liberian ambassador and tracing his roots back to the Barbados. It's Barbados to facilitate travel for Barbadians willing to make connections in Liberia. And so the ambassador's name, he's Liberian, Lorenzo L. Witherspoon. And he finds a new home in Liberia. It goes into further dimension with Prime Minister of the Barbados, Mia Amor Motley, giving him the assurance that the government will help facilitate citizens of her country willing to make Liberian connections. Witherspoon is the great-great-grandson of John Albert Porte, who migrated to Liberia in the mid-1860s. Now, this was when 346 immigrants sailed from the Barbados to Liberia on April 6, 1865. So he told the Barbados delegation that included the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Foreign Trade Senator Dr. Jerome Walcott, and Minister in the Prime Minister's office with the responsibility for culture, John King, that the warmth of the Barbadians and the many similarities of Liberia made him feel at home. And once again, Liberia and the Barbados have a close connection. You know, they had great leaders such as Arthur Barclay, who became a president in Liberia, who served from 1904 after Garrett W. Gibson to all the way close to about 1912 when Daniel E. Howard would then succeed him. And then they also had another one related to Arthur Barclay, Edwin Barclay, who served from 1930 to 1944. So Portes finds a new home in Liberia is a story of the post-emancipation immigration of the John Prince Port family from the Barbados to Liberia, West Africa. And it's going to deal with the family's quest for ancestral citizenship. And so featuring in this, story, it includes the history of Crozierville. It also has a Port family photo gallery. And it's also going to include two separate documents portraying the prominent roles in Liberia. Witherspoon visited the island to continue his extensive research and connection with his Barbadian roots. Excuse me. Now, one of the things that you should know about Barbados is Barbados has the world's second largest archive of slavery era records. The only other country to have more of that is the United Kingdom. So the Barbados has a lot of these archives. And one of the things that he mentions in the article is that the government should try to make this accessible through technology, since it's really hard to get a hands-on copy on this. So he would like to get, all this to be on digital, since of course digital is the future, and it will be able to be accessible to future generations. But going back onto the ancestral citizenship, a thing that you may not have heard about because it only happened in the Barbados was the Prime Minister Mia Motley issued an initiative which you could say is similar to Ghana's Year of Return, and it was making 2020 the year of the Barbadians and those who love the Barbados under the motto, "We gather in 2020." So similar to how Ghana had its Year of Return, and beyond the Year of Return, Barbados is having its 2020 we gathering, and like we talked about before, Liberia having its year of the diaspora. So this is really, going on trying to get the diasporas back to their respective countries because they understand the importance of what they bring. So in January 2020, that's when she designated it, but she's also planning to pass an immigration bill. And this immigration bill was, suggested during an 8-hour long virtual independence celebration during the Barbados 54th independence anniversary. And the Barbados Minister of Home Affairs, Information, and Public Affairs, Wilfred Abrahams, announced the decision by the government to enact legislation that will extend citizenship by to the descendants of all citizens of the Barbados, irrespective of generation. So it doesn't matter if you were a Barbadian citizen in the 1860s, the 1960s, if you are the descendant of a citizen of the Barbados, irrespective of generation, you are entitled to Barbadian citizenship. And, this is to try to get more Bajans or Barbadians, you can use either one, to come back to the Barbados. And the Barbados has a population of about 290,000 people. And of course, they want to get more by bringing those people who may have been, Bajans 3 or 4 generations to come home. And it talks about the Liberia-Barbados connection, again, in that, both countries share ties since 1862 when the Liberian government extended an invitation to the West Indies, and it was reached out again in 1864. And that's when, those Barbadian immigrants will go to Liberia. And there's a book written by Carrie A. Benton called More Auspicious Shores. Barbadian Migration to Liberia, Blackness in the Making of an African Republic. That's usually, I'm paraphrasing, I might not be exact, but it is close to that. And she does a great job. It's a book that I want to read. I haven't read it yet, but I heard about it. And of course, I really would like to go more in depth with that. So I would just like to give you guys what's going on between the Liberia and the Barbados. We have the connection. I hope Liberia can do the same thing next year, extend citizenship to all the diaspora, Liberians, African Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, since Liberia was such a Pan-African pioneer. So what do you guys think about this article? What do you think about the Barbadian Prime Minister doing this? Can this be a blueprint for Liberia? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you again in the next video. Peace.